Hi, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Ben.
Together we're 15 Degrees North.
Today we're going to show you the sights and sounds of Santorini.
Santorini is an island in the Cyclades.
The most famous of all the Greek islands, it has become one of travel's essential destinations, with tourists flocking from around the world to see its pristine white towns perched on the rim of the island Caldera.
There are towns and villages scattered across the island, but there are two main ones that everyone comes to see.
The first of these is Oya, which is undoubtedly the prettiest on the island.
Sitting on the northern edge of the island, its white streets and blue domes are nothing short of iconic.
But they're every bit as beautiful in person as they are in photos. But it's also, well, very busy indeed. This is where the over-tourism really hits you. People queuing, people everywhere. It is overrun with tourists, just like we expected it would be.
Santorini has become one of the most over-touristed places on the planet.
The island has a population of about 14,000, but on any given day in the summer, there are approximately 17,000 additional tourists.
With multiple cruise ships docking every day, this tiny island is bursting at the seams, with holidaymakers flocking to experience this legendary island.
However, the island has been popular for a long time, so its infrastructure is actually really good.
And its airport and ferries run like clockwork.
The vast majority of what you see on the island is there simply for the tourists. Most buildings are hotels, and an island built around tourism has the price tag to match.
Both this and its neighbour Mykonos are catering for wealthier tourists, so prepare yourself for some quite eye-watering prices at times.
We were a little bit worried before we went, weren't we?
We thought it would be very crowded.
That's what we've heard.
It was.
Yeah,
It was.
It was definitely.
Having to queue just to get a photo.
Yeah,
Like
the streets were crowded. There's a lot of people there. Long queues to get photographs at times,
Yeah.
which is kind of ridiculous. The kind of
But
thing that we've not really seen.
it's
anywhere else.
beautiful, so I can see why.
It's definitely worth it. though.
Stunning.
Yeah, because the views are gorgeous. The streets are quaint. But
Picture perfect.
yeah, but over touristed picture perfect. Santorini is quite different from the other Cyclades because the entire island is made up of a vast volcano. The main island is in a crescent shape, making up the eastern rim of its crater.
Smaller islands in the bay from the other side of this, but at one stage it was all one complete island known as Fira.
One of the best things to do on the island is the hike between Oya and Fira.
Indeed, it's a long one.
It is quite long. Takes you over cliffs, takes you over mountains and stuff, but the views,
Gorgeous, yeah.
the views
Scenery
are
is beautiful.
incroyable. 3,600 years ago, Fira was populated by the Minoan people, with a thriving community living on the island.
But then the volcano erupted in one of the largest eruptions in recorded history.
Half of the mountain was blown apart, leaving behind this vast flooded crater and taking with it most of the city too.
And this city today has been mythologized with a much more famous name, Atlantis.
Hang on, we've been to actual Atlantis.
Well, no, because it does not exist anymore.
So where exactly was it?
Well, I guess right in the middle of the bay.
Just as pretty as Oya.
Without the crowds.
The second main town that everyone visits on Santorini is Fira.
The island's capital, this small town is where most of the hotels and restaurants are situated.
At the Caldera, this has the same white houses clinging precariously to the edge, while on the other side, the town looks a bit more like a resort.
We've used the word Caldera a few times now. Is it time for us to explain what it actually is?
Or should we just leave people to guess, like everyone did with us?
Well, that's what Google's for. When a large volcano violently erupts, the exterior of its cone can collapse.
Subsequently, the caldera is what's left behind. In this case, it's the rocky rim that is just poking above the water, forming the islands of the Santorini archipelago.
On the top of the caldera is where all of Santorini's iconic buildings are situated, and these used to just be accessible by a donkey track around the rim.
Nowadays, there are no donkeys, but the path remains.
There's no doubt that Santorini's status as a premier tourist destination is there for a reason.
It is genuinely stunning, there's no getting around that.
But there's also no getting around the fact that the island is totally over-touristed. It's heaving with people and the prices are really high.
So if you're looking for something fabulous to put on your Insta story, well, this is the place for you.
But if you're looking for a more authentic experience of the Greek islands, then maybe try somewhere else.